A very good afternoon and welcome to all dear learners. I Dr. Mahesh Singh, Professor Plant Pathology at Tirthankar Mahavir University, Muradabad, Uttar Pradesh. Welcome you all at NIOS live television program under the vocational education, and subject is plant protection, and under this course we will discuss the major topic, that is the major diseases and insect pest of wheat, the identification, prevention and sustainable management. Dear learners, this is a very good topic today, and we will discuss in detail about the diseases as well as insect pest and nematodes also, which are the very challenges nowadays in a wheat crop. And the learning objective for the two-day session is to teach the learners about the distribution, economic losses caused by the diseases, their identification, symptoms, etiology, disease cycle, and as well as identification of the major insect pest that belongs to basically in the wheat crops, and their sustainable management strategy in details. Dear learners, the learning outcomes for the two-day session is, at the end of the session you will be able to understand about the their economical loss caused by the insect pest as well as diseases, and all over about the diseases like disease cycle, and their how pathogen spreads the disease, and about the insect pest, nematodes in detail, as well as suitable management practices. Dear learners, as you know, wheat crop, that is Triticum species, is one of the world's most important cereal crops, and it providing basically staple food as a source of for billions of the people through the globe. Dear learners, wheat is cultivated in diverse agroclimatic region, basically ranging from the temperate to subtropical zones. Wheat has been grown for a long time, and over the years many different varieties also available, and wheat diseases basically poses significant challenges to the crop productivity and food security, and that's leading to the yield loss as well as quality reduction also. These diseases caused by the various insect pests as well as pathogens including fungi, bacteria, viruses, nematodes, which can infect different parts of the wheat plant and at various growth stages. Dear learners, the some important wheat diseases and their causal agent, like wheat rust, it is a very common disease of wheat crop, as you know, that is caused by the leaf rust, that is caused by Puccinia triticina, and stem rust, Puccinia graminis tritici, and stripe rust, that is also Puccinia striformis. Powdery mildew, it is also one of the important disease of wheat, and it is caused by the Bumbria graminis, and Fusarium head blight, it is caused by the Fusarium species. Septoria leaf blotch, it is caused by the Septoria tritici, and tan spot like loose smut, and loose smut is caused by Astilago tritici, and some common bunt, it is caused by the Teletia species, and kernel bunt, and alternaria blight also, ear cockle of wheat, it is a nematode caused by nematode, that is Angina tritici, and these are some important wheat crop diseases I have already told you, and I have also mentioned some list of important insect pests which are basically responsible to yield reduction in wheat crop, that is aphids and armyworms, brown wheat mites, termites. These are the some insect pests also which are the responsible to reduction in yield. Dear learners, now we will discuss in detail about the wheat rust. Wheat rust, it is a very common and important disease in a wheat crop. It is caused by a fungi that infects the wheat plant, that affecting their leaves as well as stems and grain also. Dear learners, infected wheat plants develop rusty colored lesions, as you have seen in the photographs also. The pustules on their surface appears very rusty appearance over there, and the rust infected wheat plants may reduce their photosynthesis rate as well as stunted growth, and lower their grain quality also. So I have already told you that stripe rust, that is called as yellow rust, and it is caused by Puccinia stripiformis. And leaf rust, it is also known as commonly known as brown rust, that is caused by Puccinia triticina. And stem rust, that is black rust, that is Puccinia graminis tritici. So these are some three rusts basically, and which are the major challenges to the wheat crop basically. And about the black rust of wheat, the distribution of black rust is basically it is globally distributed basically caused by a fungus Puccinia graminis tritici, and you can find it worldwide wherever the wheat has been grown. And prevalence of the wheat growing region, that is the disease, is commonly found in basically temperate to subtropical region, as I have already told you that and the environmental condition where basically 15 to 20 degrees centigrade with high humidity, that creating the optimal condition for the disease development. And about the economical loss, the black rust caused by the fungus Puccinia graminis, that is one of the most economically important disease of wheat, and it reduced the grain quality as well as compared to the photosynthesis rate has been also checked. That's why the nutritional uptake had been very low. That's why the already impact on the overall the growth and development of the wheat crop. And impact on the food security due to the black rust overbreak can lead to the food security, and the price fluctuation also may lead because of dependent regions, wheat dependent region, that affecting the millions peoples who really depend on the wheat as a staple food. And the cost of the disease management is also overtake that the cost, and the disease management measures to the fungicide application. That's why the cost disease is very high. So farmer that pay that much cost for that management of the diseases. And the symptoms of black rust of wheat rust is basically yellow orange pustules on the leaves, stem as well as spikes you can see on the plants, and linear arrangement along with the veins and margins you can also see in the photographs, and darkening of the enlargement of the pustules at later stage may happen also, and formation of the dark streaks or lesions and the stem and as well as the spikes, it also may over there, and that reduce the photosynthesis rate and the chlorosis over there. And overall the impact on the whole plant is stunting of the plants, and that is ultimately that reduce the yield of the overall plants. So you can see already on the photographs is the very clearly sign over there. And about the disease cycle of the black rust of wheat, that is due to the Puccinia graminis tritici, involved in the several stages including both sexual as well as asexual reproduction. And at the time of overwintering structures, that the disease cycle begin with the overwintering structure, that is called tilitia, which are the produce on the barberry plants, and the tilitia contains the dormant tilitiospores, And at the time of spring germination, the tilitiospores germinate, giving the rise of basidiospores, and the basidiospores are dispersed with the help of wind and the wheat plant, initiating the next stage, and the infection on wheat has been started on the basically wheat leaves, leading to the formation of the primary uridia. The primary uridia release uridospores, and after that the asexual reproduction that may contain in the basically happen in the summer season. The uridospores are produced in a large number within the uridinia on the wheat plant, and with the help of wind dispersal, these spores to other wheat plants, causing the secondary infection also. And the repeated infection in the summer to fall is the secondary cycle may starts throughout the growing season of the that is uridospores contains the infect of the new wheat plants. And at the time of the late season, formation of the tilidia towards the end to the growing season, the fungus may switch to the sexual phases to the formation of the tilidia on the wheat plant, and ultimately tilidia produce the tilitiospores. And at the time of the late season, basically in the wheat may serves as a source of inoculum for the next growing season, and they survive throughout the winter basically. And at the time of the optimal basically overwintering, the barberry plant, that may be the optional, but tilitiospore produce on the barberry, that is overwintering, that serves as the source of inoculum, that is for basidiospores in the following spring season. And dear learners, this is the basically structure of the disease cycle. And about the disease cycle, the how uridospores, tiliospores are formed, and how they can spread through winter as well as summer to spring, and how can spread to the barberry plant to wheat plant, and how they infect to the ultimately the host plant. I have discussed this. And about the management, dear learners, the management practice is a very important to minimize the disease loss. The first of all, resistant variety, you can select the resistant variety. Black rust resistant variety has been already introduced, so just you can select the resistant variety for their reason. And you can regularly update variety that ensure the continued resistant on the pathogens evolves. And crop rotation, basically crop rotation is a very important to the minimizing the spread of the inoculum, and that's why you can rotate with the non-host crop to disturb the disease cycle, and it reduce the inoculum levels in the field. And you can avoid the planting wheat in a continuous season, means consecutive seasons, in the minimizing the buildup of the pathogen basically. And you can remove the alternate host, you can eliminate the control of the alternate host basically, that is particularly barberry plant, which are the basically the source serves as a essential host for the pathogen for the sexual reproduction basically. So basically the early planting and timely sowing is also important in case of avoiding the rust diseases. And you can plant the early in the season, that can help to avoid the peak period of the black rust development, that reduce the disease pressure. And you can ensure the timely sowing to promote the uniform crop development and reduce the susceptibility, and it provides the adequate spacing between the rows to the promote to the air circulation to reduce the humidity. And cultural practices, dear learners, the cultural practices is very important to minimizing any kind of disease pressure to avoid the excessive nitrogen fertilizers as a dense canopy that can lush growth can create the favorable conditions for the disease development. That's why you have to use only optimized dose, balanced dose of nitrogenous fertilizers. And surveillance and monitoring, you have to regular monitor the field and if the presence of any kind of symptoms of the black rust, you can identify early and use the disease forecasting models and other monitoring tools to assess the risk of infection, and just you can take a decision to suppress that kind of symptoms or diseases. And genetic resistant is also genetically modified varieties, means you can rotate the different source of resistance and avoid the excessive reliance with the single resistance gene. And quarantine measures is also over there that can helps to restrict the movement of the infected plants material from one region to another region to spread of the new pathogen or races. And you can also use of the fungicide, chemical fungicide like triazoles, like tebuconazole, propiconazole. Though these are the available in the market as per your requirement. You can select any one of the fungicide and you can use on that. And some mancozeb is also effective for that, and carbendazim you can also use, and some integrated disease management practices is also over there, and that's why you can take any selective measures to reduce or minimizing the disease severity. And now about nematodes. Nematode, that is Angina titici. It is a very you can say the destructive in the crop, wheat crop basically. That is the name of disease is ear cockle of wheat. And you can say it is a globally distributed, basically the caused by the nematode, that is Angina titici. It is found in wheat growing region of the world, and you can see found in the basically temperate to climatic zone. It is basically commonly observed in over there, and where the cultivation is prevalent. And basically distribution of the ear cockle can be found in the various country across Europe, North America, Asian country, as well as other wheat producing region of the world. And the economic loss, you can see the basically yield loss, quality reduction due to the infection or blackening of the seed or wrinkling of the seed with the infection, and seed contamination, management cost, market restriction. So these are the some economical impact due to the ear cockle nematode. And the causal organism, as you know, in that causal organism that is Angina titici, that is kingdom found in the kingdom Animalia, and phylum Nematoda, and in the family Anguinidae and titici. So you can see the nematode photographs over there. And about the symptoms, dear learners, the symptoms appears on the leaves, stems, as well as head, that is a floral part basically. The affected plants look dwarf, as well as twisted and crinkled leaves also. The presence of galls as well as smut ball over the wheat head, and galls are irregular in shape as well as smaller than the healthy grains also. Galls can be white, pinkish to yellowish brown in color, and at the time of infected grains within the galls are smaller, shriveled, as well as discolored also. Grain may appear chalk type or grayish brown due to the nematode or the fungal infection also. and ultimately it reduce the grain yield as well as the quality also. And dear learners, you can see the photographs also for the wrinkling as well as the infected panicles as well as the ear head also, and the grains quality, the comparison of the healthy grain as well as infected grain over there, and gall formation of the galls you can also see over there. And about the disease cycle, dear learners, the disease cycle, it involves with the several stages basically, and like introduction of the nematodes, basically the disease cycle of the Inguina titici starts with the soil, typically through the contaminated seed or as well as the soil also. And the nematode exit in the infective stages in the soil, and it waiting to the encounter, basically it's to the susceptible plant host. After that, the condition of when the favorable conditions come, the infective juveniles of the Inguina titici that penetrate to the basically root hairs or the soft root of the host plant, typically that for feeding and reproduction. When that nematodes enters to the wheat root zone, they feeds and reproduce over there. After that, they release the enzymes to break down the plant cells, that causing the formation of the galls is smut ball within the developing wheat heads also. Dear learners, the formation of the gall due to the nematode, it induce the plant for the gall, which serves as the protective structure for the nematodes. That's why it provide them with the nutrition also. And within the gall, the nematode continue to the as well as multiply and feeds on the plant tissue, that leading to the development of the nematode population within the infected wheat heads. And after that dissemination, the gall contains the nematode are dispersed along with the harvested grain, as well as spreading the nematodes to new area and the new field also. And the survival of the nematode in the soil, that may be infective juvenile until the suitable conditions come for the infection. That's why for the long time it has been found more than 25 years long, it is also survive with the infected seeds. And about the management of the infected grains or crop, by help of certified seed, you can use start with the certified disease free seeds, that minimizing the risk of introducing the nematodes over there. And the crop rotation is also important with the help of non-host crop that can break the nematode life cycle, and you can avoid the continuous wet condition in the field, that is minimizing the their inoculum load, as well as the resistant variety. You can select any resistant variety for the better growth. And the seed treatment, treat the seed with the help of nematicide, or with the nematicide as well as fungicide also, to reduce the nematode population and protect the emerging seedlings also. And soil amendment, as a soil amendment, you can use the better organic matter into the soil to improve the soil health quality. And biological control of nematodes are also available. You can use that biological control also. And you can regular monitor the field. If any sign or symptoms, as I already told you earlier, is found in the main field, you can just alert over there, and just you can take action for the control the infection. And sustainable sanitation, field sanitation is also very important. You can use the field sanitation to remove the destroy the infected plants debris, to reduce the spread of nematode to the healthy plants. And overall the integrated pest management strategy, you can apply that approach to combination of the multiple control method to effective management of Inguina triticale is advisable. So this is about the Inguina triticale disease that is caused by the Inguina triticale, the ear cockle of wheat disease. And dear learners, loose smut of wheat, next disease is important disease of loose smut is also there. And distribution about the loose smut is a very common disease. You can found worldwide wherever the wheat crop has been cultivated. It occurs in the various wheat growing regions like North America, European country, Asian country, Australia, as well as other continent also. And basically where environmental factors of smut is influenced by the such as temperature, humidity, as well as soil type, favorable conditions for the fungal growth and infection increase, and the smut for the smut incidence. And economic importance, dear learners, the economic importance for this disease is basically it is a very economical disease, because yield loss ranging from the more than 45%, sometime if the severity is very high, and quality reduction is also over there. So overall the increase of the production cost is very high. That's why the farmers suffers the cost of the applying of the fungicide. So dear learners, just we will take a small break. After that we will meet again. Thank you.
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से
पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बहुत,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, स्वयं बने हम,
Dear listeners, welcome back once again. Dear listeners, we are discussing about the loose smut of wheat. We had discussed about the distribution. It is distributed throughout the world where wheat has been cultivating, and the economically it is a very important disease also that causes the significant yield loss that is ranging from moderate to severe, that depending upon the severity of the infection, and quality reduction as well as the production cost. Ultimately farmers that incur the additional cost or additional expenses for the controlling and managing the smut infection. Dear listeners, this disease is caused by the Astilego it is found in fungi basically, that is phylum under Basidiomycota, and the class is Astilegonomycetes, and basically the symptoms produced by the Astilego it display basically identifiable symptoms. You can find or identify very easily, that is smoky type of heads with the dark spore masses, and the overall the floral structures that replaced into the reduced grain filling as well as the dark coating of the overall the external heads, that is visibly basically during the flowering season, and the systematic infection that results the widespread and of the symptoms basically. You can see here in the photograph very clearly how the disease has been affect the ear head of the wheat crop basically, and the whole grain has been converted to the mass of the fungal masses, and the no grain has been filled over there. So ultimately this is a very destructive disease of the wheat crop, and you can easily identify these symptoms in the field. Dear listeners, the disease cycle of the loose smut of wheat basically it is a seed borne, and the disease cycle begins with the dissemination of the teleospores which are produced in the infected wheat heads during the previous growing seasons, and the teleospores overwinters in the soil or it on the other crop residues also, and it providing the source for the infection which is the for the next planting seasons. so it germinates and it germinates to produce the basidio spores for the small infection and next cropping season. And the infection of the wheat flowers that flowers during the flowering stage, that is the it gaining the entry through the basically floral organs also. And the pathogen that is Astilagotiticii, it is colonized with the vascular tissue of the wheat plant, that is leading to a systemic infection. And it is the transformation of the floral structure. After that, complete transformation of the floral structures may held into the dark masses of the spores. And the development of the smut spores masses, or after that, that is the powdery smut spores, you can see over there. And after that, the mature wheat head that is the releasing the large quantity of the infectious spores over there. And after that, the secondary infection may happen. And now about the management, dear learners. The management of the disease is very important, because you can see the economic loss of this disease. And the resistant variety against the Astilagotiticii is very important to identify, and it is already introduced over there, and you can select for planting purpose. And seed treatment, because it is a basically seed borne disease, so you can treat the seed with the help of fungicide as well as hot water treatment to reduce the inoculum infection. And crop rotation is also important, to rotate the crop with the help, it helps to break the disease cycle for the reducing the presence of the inoculum in the soil also. And sustainable practices of including the cleaning of equipments, as well as moving the at the time of infected plants debris to reduce the source of inoculum. And you can control the eliminating of the volunteer wheat plant, especially in the vicinity of the field, that reduce the potential for the pathogen survival and transmission. And you can select the seeds at the time of seed the sowings at the time before, that is the high disease pressure, to minimize the high disease pressure and risk, as well as you can apply the ultimately fungicide for preventing the disease severity. And you can also go through the integrated disease management practices. And now about the kernel bunt. Next disease is kernel bunt of wheat. And the distribution of the kernel bunt of wheat, it is basically it is found in the warm as well as dry climate region. And the disease was first reported from the kernel India by Mitra in 1931, hence it is the name of kernel bunt. And it is prevalent in the part of India, Pakistan, Mexico, Nepal, and South Africa, USA, and some other part of the world. And the economically it is also important disease, because it is reduced around the 20% or more than that disease overall. And the increased cost production also happen with the infected crop managing, and quality reduction due to the bunt disease of wheat. It suffers from the quality degradation as well as impacting on the market value also. And some restriction for the kernel bunt disease is trigger the trade restriction on the wheat export from affected regions to the and any other region of the world. And the pathogen Tilletia indica, as I already told you, and it is a fungal pathogen basically found in the Basidiomycota group, and you can see here the some spores of the fungus, that is Tilletia indica. And symptoms basically, the major symptoms of the disease of this pathogen is stunted grains, smutted grain, that is infected with the grains appears healthy from the outside, but it may contain dark powdery masses, that is Tilitiospore inside. And for the odor means the smell, infected grains often emit the foul type of smell, that sometimes fishy odor due to the presence of the fungal spores. And you can if you found in the closer inspection, you will see the grain may exhibit the blackened masses or smut type of balls over there, and ultimately that reduce the grain quality, and the market value is also reduced for that kind of infected grains. And you can see here in the photographs clearly the smutted grains over there, and how bunted kernel bunt type of symptoms is there. Their grain as well as the ear head also infected due to the infection of the Tilletia. And about the disease cycle, dear learners, the kernel bunt is often a seed-borne disease, and it can also be caused the Tilitiospores that presents in the soil surface, but basically it is a seed-borne disease. And infection start with the help of spores when the fungus that is Tilletia indica comes in contact with the wheat spikes during the flowering season. When the flowering season start, the Tilletia indica that comes in contact with there, then the spores germination and that penetrate the basically wheat floral through the stigma hairs also, and after that they can colonize and develop the grain, developed inside the grain, and the symptoms may appears that is up the time of the mature, that is characteristic symptoms of the kernel bunt, as I already told you, that become visible after the severe infection. And after the time of harvesting, infected grains are harvested along with the healthy grains during the wheat harvested, and after harvesting the farmers that can store that grain also, that's why that infected grains can comes at the time of sowing. So the infection start basically through the seed borne. And dissemination, that is Tilletia spores released the form of the infected grains during the harvesting that contaminate the healthy grains, and in the soil that survive as a source of inoculum for the future infection. And repeated cycles may appears at the time of the favorable condition, and it may repeats when the infect to the new wheat spikes during the favorable condition. Dear learners, the management of this disease is very common, and you can easily manage this disease like selecting the resistant variety, and as well as the rotate the crop with the help of non-host crop to break the disease cycle, and as well as the reduce the inoculum level present in the soil. And seed treatment, because it is a seed-borne disease, so you can treat the seed with the help of fungicide, suitable fungicide, and you can treat the seed with the hot water treatment also. And the timely sowing, it also helps to reduce the inoculum load at the time of flowering during the periods of the high humidity, which favors the disease development. That's why you have to sow the seeds timely. And sanitation, field sanitation is very important to remove and destroy the crop residues after the harvesting in the previous crop to reduce the inoculum levels. and ultimately you can apply the fungicide if your disease severity is very high. To you can apply the any selective fungicide for the in reducing of the disease severity, and monitoring, regular monitoring is also helps to reduce the canal burnt symptoms, canal burnt pressure, as well as the quarantine measures is also helps to reduce the spread of the this kind of disease. Now we will discuss some insect pests which are the responsible to cause the infection or losses in the wheat crop. That is aphids. First is aphids, and it is a very common in wheat crop, and it is basically it is a soft body insect, basically 1.5 to 3 millimeter in size, and in green in color, yellowing to brown in color sometimes, and wingless to wing are also over there, and host plant basically it affect the wheat, barley, oats and some other cereals also, and it is found basically the habitats are basically leaves as well as stems and ear head also, and the damage and symptoms of that can impact the basically it suck the plant sap using the piercing and sucking type of mouth part that is that the time of any stage of the plant, and the symptoms basically yellowing and curling of the leaves, stunted plant growth, and ultimately impact causes impact on the overall reduction of the photosynthesis, also leads to the grain quality degradation as well as the overall yield loss. And management strategy, dear listeners, you can manage through early sowing especially, and remove the wheat as well as alternate host also nearby the area, and balanced dose of fertilizers, basically nitrogenous fertilizer. If you are using the excessive use of nitrogenous fertilizer, the plants become soft, and this insect can easily affect the main crop. And you can use the biological control also, that is ladybird beetles is also you can apply some parasitic wasps are there, they can also kill this type of aphids, and chemical control is also available, so you can use the any kind of chemical for the killing of this, like imidacloroprid like that, and integrated pest management strategy for the combining of the cultural, biological as well as chemical method for the sustainable control of the aphids. Next is army worms. It is a very common also, and it is distributed through the you can see the greenish to brownish or dark stripes, and it is basically underside of the leaves, and the host basically for wheat, rice, maize, barley and other cereal crops also infected by the armyworms, and the habitat is basically it is basically active in the night, and it hiding in the soil plant debris during the day. So just you can if you want to observe this kind of armyworms, you can watch in the night time, and damaging symptoms it impact basically the feeding behavior of the this insect is larva feeds the basically leaves, stem and even the panicle also, and ultimately defoliation gives the plant and ultimately the whole leaves as well as the yield also reduce. And the symptoms are the basically it is the you can find the edges of the leaves is basically chewed, and the foliage and several type of the leaf you can find, and the impact of the yield is overall reduction of the photosynthesis as well as the leading to the the stem feeding also, and significant yield loss that is if you are untreated the field. So that's why this is a very common, and you can manage the cultural through the cultural practices, biological control and chemical control also over there. So you can select anyone and basically you can focus the integrated pest management strategy. So dear learners, this is about the wheat crop diseases as well as their nematodes and causing nematodes and insect pest also. So I hope this lectures has been found you very understanding and for informative. So thanks you very much dear learners for the precious learning. Thank you very much.